Welcome back. Welcome back to Carnivore Found Me, your dirty carnivore channel. So today we're going to be making us some carnivore meat treats. Okay, so you guys know I eat once a day. I can't help it. Once you go carnivore and you stay on a carnivore diet for so long, you just don't feel hungry. So I started eating once a day. However, I would like to have some treats just like everyone else. So what we're going to do is we're going to make us some fermented treats, and I'm going to tell you the process. The first process is going to be like a fermentation, and the second step is going to be a dehydration. So let's look at everything that we're going to be using. So we're going to be using some, we have a ribeye here. We're going to cut that up, and some beef chunks. We're going to cut that up. We are going to be using some raw honey. However, if you believe that bees' honey is not carnivore, then you can skip that step. I'm going to be using some honey because I want the flavor. This fermentation is going to be with the pink salt instead of the Celtic salt, so we're going to be using that. We're also going to be using some bottled water. Please be sure that when you're doing your fermentation that you don't use water with chlorine in it. Okay, also what we have here is we have my jar that we're going to be using and our dehydrator over here. So we're going to start off first by preparing our water so that it can sit. And what I'm going to do here, just going to pour us some water in here because we want to get our water all prepared. Okay, and for a jar this size, I'm going to use a teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt. Okay. Put that over there. And I'm also going to be using some raw honey, maybe a couple of teaspoons, 2 teaspoons. This is organic. I'll show you the bottle as soon as I can get it in there. That's good. So this is 100% pure organic, raw, and unfiltered honey. That's what we're using there. So let's try to get as much of this off this spoon as possible. Hi.
Hi.
Oh, I forgot to tell you in the last video, someone said they liked the camera person.
Oh, really?
Yeah, go look at one of the comments. I forgot their name. I did respond. Okay. Oh, wait, I gotta put this on correctly. And we're gonna shake this up and let this sit while we're cutting up our meat. You think you're gonna like this? I'll get to have some treats. Yeah. Instead of the jerky sticks. And I wanna pull up those preservatives that they put in those jerky sticks and meat preservative stuff. Yeah, I want to pull that up. Because what we're going to do here, we're going to have us some natural with no preservatives in it.
You're making beef jerky?
Beef jerky, yes.
Sounds awesome.
They're going to be like little strips. It'll give me something to like snack on when I'm watching movies, you know. And I'm using this honey just to give it a little bit of flavor, you know. And what do you think about bees honey? Do you think that it's plant-based or do you think that it's animal-based? Because a bee is an insect. However, vegans say that the honey is actually the throw up from the pollen that they eat or something, so they consider it vegan. What would you think?
They said honey is throw up?
That's what they say. I'm going to have to research that a little bit more.
I mean, that
But what do you think? Do you think that it's vegan or carnivore? Animal based.
A beehive is where honey comes from.
Right. From the bees.
They're not throwing up around the beehive.
Girl, I'm just saying. That's what I heard. But we're not going to go by what we hear over here. We're going to actually...
organic.
Yeah, it says organic. Okay, so this is what we have here. We're going to let that set to the side. And right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start cutting this meat up.
Wait,
here.
did you know?
My hands are nice and clean.
Can I say something
Sure.
to your audience?
Yeah.
This honey says, don't feed honey to babies 1 year or younger.
Really?
Yeah.
Wonder why. We have to research that to find out why. What do you think it is?
I don't know.
But you know, we can't believe everything we read. You just showed me about the daggone food pyramid. You know?
Oh, I can tell you where this honey came from.
Where?
Nature Nate's honey always comes with a purity guarantee to uphold strict testing standards that provide an unmatched level of care and precision that would make any honeybee proud. We traveled to the protected rainforest of South America, home to hundreds of square miles of untouched bee ecosystems, to bring you this earthy blend of organic honey. That's all it says.
Interesting. It says Nate's
U.S. grade A, gluten-free, BPA-free. The only ingredients is organic honey.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like throw up.
It really does. When you look at that honey as opposed to just the other honey that you buy at the grocery store, looks a little different, doesn't it? And it's really, really thick. I probably need a better knife. I don't know why I got this little knife here.
Oh, wait, we only have... You probably need some kitchen scissors.
I'm going to take this. I'm going to be putting some kitchen what?
Kitchen scissors.
Scissors?
On this knife?
Ooh, that's a big knife there. You get, I don't know, it may be better than this knife. Woo! Oh, yes, baby. Okay. So are you seeing the sizes that I'm cutting this into? What do you think?
Little cubes.
Think I should cut them a little bit smaller?
No.
Okay. Now, I fermented a lot of other stuff, but this is my first time fermenting meat. See, small little pieces like this. You know what? Could you take this in there? This rib eye is gonna go for tonight because I've got enough there. Could you take that in there? Cover that up for me. Okay, so now what I'm basically gonna do is just to wash this a little bit there. So here we go. We're going to take our jar here. Let's open this up. This is nice and clean. Okay. Could you take this, please? Thank you. Okay, so this is how much we have. So now we're going to take what we would call brine. Take the brine. And we're going to pour that in there. We want to always make sure that it's covering the meat. Then I have this little thing to hold it down. It's a weight. It'll keep the meat down, keep it from floating up, because you want to make sure that it's covered at all times. Okay. Then we're going to close this tight, seal that like that. And here we have a hole here. And so we're gonna put our air filter here. There's little holes in here. So once it starts fermenting, you'll start to see bubbles, air bubbles come up. And so this will help to release the air. So we'll put that there. So we'll have this setting for, I'm gonna do either 48 hours or 36 hours, but I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna check it periodically and I'll show you what it looks like. So, okay, this is the first step of our carnivore treats. Okay, so this is about 24 hours after we started. Let's give us a little close up. If you look in here, you'll see where it looks like the meat's turning a grayish white color. The blood's coming out of the meat. So this is like 24 hours. Let's give it a real shake, shake, shake. Try and mix it up a little bit so we can get all the salt, the brine up in the center of it. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Okay, carnivores, we are back, and this is the last step of the process that we're going to be taking. Take our air filter out. The water just looks dirty, but it does have some bubbles in there, showing that fermentation is taking place. Okay. We'll pour our meat out in here. Take a look at the meat. Let's rinse it off. It looks like if I were to cook this at this stage, it would be very, very tender. Okay, so I'm gonna move my bowl over here, put my plate here with the paper towel, shake that off some, and we're actually going to pour our meat out there. So here's what our meat look like. This here is my pink salt. However, you can continue to use the Celtic salt if you like. So I'm going to lightly salt this. Turn it over. It doesn't have a smell to it or anything. I'd be careful if my meat did have a smell to it, because that would mean that it's turning rancid. Put a little salt on it here. Remember, salt is always a good preservative. Then we're going to move our dehydrator over here closer. And we're going to start layering our meat onto this. And it looks like we'll actually be able to put all the meat on this particular tray. But make sure it's separated. You don't want it too bunched up because you want to make sure you have good air circulation. And we do have other trays that we could use if we had extra meat or too much meat for this one tray, but this one tray will be sufficient. And so instead of me putting it directly on the top, let's see if I can put it maybe here. Put that one there. And I'll put the other trays on the top, just for create some circulation here. Put this back on top. Let's So here we go. We're going to actually turn this on, and then we'll hit our set, and that is the time, and it goes all the way up to 24 hours. However, I'm sure we're going to leave this in here for longer than 24 hours, but we'll check it in 24 hours to reset it. This is the temperature that, the time that it goes up to. Hit set again, and now you can change your temperature. Here it's at 115. 115, you can go down to maybe 100. Say if you were trying to leave the bacteria in there and you did not want to kill any of the bacteria, and you're pretty sure of what you're doing, then you would want to dehydrate it on about 100. However, we want to make sure any bacteria or negative pathogens are killed. So we're going to put it on 145, and we're going to leave it there, and we'll push this button to start it. And there we go. So we'll come back in about 24 hours. Okay, so it was 24 hours. I turned it back on for another 12 hours. And let's look at what we have here. This tastes pretty good. I can taste a small bit of honey in it, and I taste the salt in it. Very good meat treat. Carnivore meat treat.